Hello, welcome. My name's Tom Darwood. On the 7th of November this year, I posted a letter by hand to my local MP for Southend East and Rochford. Inside that letter, I welcomed him into our constituency as a successful candidate. He beat the Conservative. But inside that letter, I asked him to hand over another letter to the Prime Minister. The gist of that letter was, since 1972, I felt a divine hand of God preparing me to become the future Archbishop of Canterbury. And that is the gist of that letter, that he ended with a request saying that my life, after 54 years or 52 years of preparation, may be the answer to the future Archbishop of Canterbury. Now, you notice I've put across the new Archbishop Joseph 77. How come such a strange title? Well, let me put it very simply if I can. In those 52 years of preparation, supposing I was led by God and by my own ambition, whatever, to become a teacher, a parliamentarian, a doctor, a police officer, and so on and so forth. I am actually a carpenter. But my life has led me with the necessary criteria to be considered, firstly, as a 21st century Joseph 77, to emulate the biblical Joseph who became a prime minister to the Pharaoh of Egypt. And he went on to build barns all over Egypt to collate the 7 years of harvest abundance in order for Egypt to survive in the pursuing 7 years of famine. But at the end of that story, Joseph not only fed the people of Egypt, he also fed the surrounding nations of Egypt. And that is very important to my story, ladies and gentlemen, which I've written to all these people and I've not had a definitive reply. So let me begin, if I may, by applying Harold Macmillan's maxim that the most important thing, if you have an idea or political policy, is events, dear boy, events which juxtapose either before, during, or immediately after whatever it is that you're campaigning for. And that narrative has happened to me throughout my entire life, ending with my letter, which was dropped in by hand, unfortunately to an empty office, but I know exactly what it looked like, and someone must have passed it on the next day to the new MP. Because 5 hours after that, I had not known about the impending doom of the presiding Archbishop of Canterbury, whose malaise was that he knew something which he should have acted upon. But the point was, his resignation was due in the next few days. That placed me in the line of sight, as it were, knocking on the door, which I didn't know. Had I posted that letter the following day, then people rightly say I'm an opportunist and I'm taking advantage of someone's downfall. Well, I acted in faith. I wasn't an opportunist. So if you think after 52 years, that is not bad timing, is it? Not bad timing. Now, what is it that happened on the 1st of April 1972? Another perfect example of how I said something and then something happened within proximity of what I said to endorse through events, dear boy. The events was preceded by my prayer to Almighty God to endorse me. I said to the Lord, are you guiding me to revise the Book of Common Prayer? That was a very, very specific prayer which I will never forget. The significance is that exactly 7 days after, my father would always read the Daily Telegraph, and when he'd go to sleep near the fire, he passed the paper on to me. And I could not believe that the main article was all about the revision of the Book of Common Prayer. When I looked at that, I offered an arrow prayer to the Almighty and said, Lord, I can't refuse this. It seems as though I'm being endorsed in Providence that my prayer was the right prayer, and this event in the Daily Telegraph signals to me to pursue my life to revise the Book of Common Prayer. Unfortunately, something else happened on that particular day when I was reading the paper, and very quickly, when I was looking at the paper, the TV screen had muted, and there was a caption, a silhouette of a man with no name on it. Now, this silhouette lingered on the TV screen for nearly 20 minutes, which is a very long time. And when the caption gave way, it was to a program entirely on the papacy. When that happened, within 5 minutes or 20 minutes of me saying to Lord, are you suggesting that this is confirmation that the revision of the Book of Common Prayer will lead me to become a future Archbishop of Canterbury? The film on the papacy then said to me, God was saying, I will also make you the future Pope also. So I put that into the furthest part of my mind until 1999, when I realised that that is exactly where my life was leading me.